Welcome everybody to another video on Khaldor TV and more Heroes of the Storm action. We're gonna take a closer look at more games played in the EPL today, and in case that you haven't heard the news, we have the European Pro League right now. A pretty fancy name, but in the end it's an in-house pickup league that the teams have organized because they said, hey, Hero League is not really for us. It's pretty difficult for us to get proper training in there if the entire team isn't around to just organize scrims or team league matches against other teams. So basically it's just mixed teams that go up against each other, consisting of pro players from teams like Fnatic, Na'Vi, Dignitas, for example, and Team Liquid. So really plays on a very high level, but also giving the players a bit of a chance to experiment a bit more, and the whole focus is more on the individual play than anything else. The teams are still connected in TeamSpeak, so there is a voice factor to all of this. The communication is a lot better than if you're playing a random Hero League match. But for example, the draft is very simple in this case, only one ban per team, doesn't really come too much into play. The strategy and everything, that is something that the teams reserve for their scrims, and then of course also for the tournament matches. Still pretty entertaining games, and today we're going to have two more matches that we're going to look at, and I can already promise you that we have some fun here. We have a full composition that is solely focused on elite and support in one of the games, and we also see Stitches back in the meta, and that is something that personally I'm very excited about. So guys, without wasting any more time, we're going to jump into game number 1. The European Pro League with another match here. It's actually pretty cool for us guys because the pros are of course always practicing. This league, this in-house pickup league, focuses a bit more on the individual players and not so much on the teams themselves. They are trying to play on a high level amongst each other, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. And this one should be fun. We are on God of Terra, and to the left side we have Breeze on Sonya, we have Smexistar on Karazim, Eternal playing Zeratul, Mane playing Jaina, and Alex the Pro G on Muradin. To the right side of the map, it's Hazops on Abathur, BKB on Tyrael, Splendor playing Brightwing, we have Lowell on Illidan, and Sypho on Tassadar. So we have players from all of the pro teams basically. We have Virtus Pro, Fnatic, Na'Vi, we have also a Rocket represented here. It's pretty cool to see that everybody is currently just trying to play these games so that they can play on a bit of a higher level. Currently when we're looking at the builds, and especially of course the compositions, the lineups here, you can really tell that the red team has a heavy focus on Illidan. They're currently trying to play Lowell on his favorite hero. They have a Tassadar for support and Abathur for support. They also have now Tyrael, which can jump in together with Illidan. One of the things that they don't have though is any kind of real range damage. The only range hero in the setup besides Brightwing as a support is Tassadar. And Tassadar's damage got nerfed a bit in the last patch. We had quite a few changes, especially for this guy. Not only does the Void Prison now have a 50% reduction on the casting range, but also his Wormhole is now only a 2-second skill or talent and not a 3-second one, which basically made Brightwing nearly a hard counter, since if he blinks in and gets polymorphed, he is pretty much screwed. There's a lot that Brightwing can do to make the life of Zeratul a living hell. And one of the things that especially Splendor on Brightwing really loves to do is go for a full face shift build, and that means that he goes for Peekaboo on level 4 instead of going for the Pixie Dust, which is kind of common when you're looking at the Korean meta. The builds in general are pretty cool, especially of course since that Illidan composition is also met with a comp that is designed to make his life a bit harder. We're going to talk about that in a second. For now the first night has fallen, both of the teams are aiming for the seats already. Nice kill here against Sonya, and Sonya was picked as a bit of a counter to Illidan. It's not like she's a hard counter or anything, but she has that burst damage potential that Illidan is not really going to be too fond of. So the idea of the team, the blue team, is going to be get a bit of lockdown in, maybe a Stormbolt from Muradin, and allow Sonya to go in with the Ancient Spear and just slam Illidan into the ground, while Muradin with the Reverberation build is going to slow him down a bit. The talents that we're seeing here, we have a Regeneration Master on Tyrael and also Zeratul. We have on level 1 the Shot of Fury for Sonya, who's becoming extremely popular here. And there's not really a whole lot of stuns on the side of the blue team, or sorry, the red team. So Illidan, Sonya will have a pretty easy time with the Whirlwind. One of the few heroes that can do something against that is Brightwing with that polymorph, but only so many polymorphs that he can throw out there. Now Sypho might be in a bit too much trouble. Abathur trying to help out, but he's down. Hazops is very far out here too. Eternal gets away and gets healed by Smexistar, who jumped in the last second But yeah, very clutch kill here. So we have a kill for a kill. And during all of this, up to the top, we had Illidan already being busy. Lowell is playing the hero that he's known for. Adjustment on level 4 with the Vampiric Strike, which is actually something that we have already seen a couple of times, especially on the side of the Virtus Pro player. BKB is using that build here now as well. We have BKB currently down in the bot lane, trying to steal a few of those seeds away, and they are super close, but it ends up with them being nearly on the same amount of seeds after that. Smexy style is low and jumps to Alex the Prodigy. Nice, providing that escape route. The kill against Sonya, and yeah, for now it looks like everybody on the side of the red team is going to get away, and they get another kill or two. Karazim is down. Well played here. Really nice moves that we are seeing from the red team. Lowell is already jumping down to the bottom lane. Illidan is going to be the... I mean, everything is going to hinge on him. Of course, Tyrael can also like deliver some damage, but when it comes to those team fights later, Illidan control is everything. And that's where the setup that we're seeing for the blue team is actually lacking a bit. They don't have a Shrink Ray on 13, they don't have too many stuns. They have a few things that they can really just like throw into the battle, but it's not going to be easy for them at all. They're going to rely heavily on Muradin, they're going to rely heavily also on Sonya, and if at least Zeratul gets that Void Prism off into the backline, then they might be able to take him down where he has no support. But we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. Level 7 is starting to hit for the blue team first, and well, for now we are seeing, as expected, follow through the Echo of Heaven. We have also first aid for Illidan. Lowell is one of the few players that oftentimes went into Thrill of Battle instead on level 7 because he wanted to combo that with his level 13 evasion talent, especially when he went up against very spellcaster heavy setups. In this case, it's only Jaina that he has to deal with in this regard, and apparently you would rather rely on first aid, at least for now. Muradin going into the battle momentum choice on 30, level 7. And that is actually pretty cool. Oh, nice move against Brightwing, and he is down. Splendor, of course, doesn't have Blink Heal yet, and that makes him a bit less mobile. One less escape mechanisms that he can use. We have Leeching Plasma on level 4 for Tassadar. And I mean, guys, there have been so many new changes in the patch. Of course, we have a lot to talk about. We already mentioned a few of the things. Another one that I really want to mention real quickly before we go into the heroes. Well, actually, before that happens, Breeze might be in a bit of trouble here on Sonya. Lowell going deep for that. Breeze already knows that he's dead, so he's at least trying to deliver some damage. But the Leeching Plasma is going to be quite important for Tassadar. He does less damage in his Archon form now, but his healing abilities have been buffed, and Leeching Plasma is something that is especially great when you're running a melee assassin. Having those 30% of life leech is absolutely incredible, and that's what they're currently trying to do. Eternal jumping out, trying to escape, and Brightwing comes in and uses Polymorph to lock him down. So well done here. Currently the red team is doing a great job. The maps have been changed as well. It's not only the heroes that saw some changes. And especially when we're talking about this map now, if you throw down a pod, we are all used, of course, to the pod disabling the structures like forts, keeps, and towers. And now Blizzard introduced a change that allows it to also disable the core itself. And that is a very interesting one. It's one of those things that is supposed to be, to make the game a little bit more aggressive, to make the game a little bit faster. Since Blizzard said that there were too many occasions where it just didn't pay off for you to attack with your plan, but instead you just wanted to defend your own core. And right now you get a little bit more value out of being aggressive with your own plan, so that's what they were trying to achieve. The top line is being highly fought over. There's that Void Prison, and everybody's getting into it. Nice! They use the Ring of Frost here. They blow Brightwing to pieces. BKB is also down, and now it's time for Lowell to die. Or can he maybe deliver a kill? Breeze is so low, but he gets away. Both of the teams are on their level 10 abilities. Sanctification, we have the ultimate evolution for Abathur. There's also, again, Force Wall. We've seen that in the last game already. The Tassadar player has changed, the talent itself hasn't. We have also Blink Heal, Metamorphosis. Abathur himself is currently at the bot lane, by the way. For the blue team, in this case, it's the Ring of Frost, which we already saw in play. Void Prism is not really a surprise. Divine Palm, Berserker, and Avatar has been chosen as the talents. And again, Knight has fallen, and the teams are on the exact same amount of experience. And once again, they're jumping in. The kill against Illidan. Job well done. That's exactly what Sonya's supposed to do here. BKB tries to get away. Force Wall already used, and Splendor and BKB just jump real quickly, using Eldruin's might and also Blink Heal to get out of the situation, and that was a very close call. They already lost one hero. They couldn't really result in losing another. At the bot lane, Alex is using the plan for his team, and we have one ready for the red team now too, and they are putting it to use as we speak. But Alex is going to get this one eventually. Over here though, we have the rotation into the middle. Abathur is still trying to get as much experience as he possibly can. The problem for Hazorps is really that we have Zeratul out there. And if Zeratul at some point just decides to hunt him down, then it's going to be extremely difficult to prevent him from doing this. So Abathur has always to stay far into the own base. He can't really move out onto the map. Alex went through the fort at the bot lane and goes straight for the wall now too. In the middle of the map we have another attack. The problem that the red team though has is just simply that so many seeds have been claimed by the blue team that they are going to have another plant right after this. Lowell basically taking down the fort at the top. The wave should take clear of that eventually. Down here, it's still Alex trying to get as many of these pots in as he possibly can. But down to the bottom lane, BKB is being pushed back by the rotation of the blue team. The level 13 talent is also going to bring them even a bit farther apart than before. The Ancient Spear has been claimed. Wormhole is still the talent choice for Zeratul, and we're seeing them with Quicksilver again. So Radiant Dash with the movement speed bonus. Level 13 talents now also for the red team. They have to face that second Immortal soon enough. Over here, Lowell is... well, he's getting jumped, but the rest of the team is already there. Splendor. He went into Peekaboo as predicted. He went into Phase Shield. It's a full Phase Shield build for him again, with the exception of Pixie Dust on level 13. So this is going to be the important one. They need to keep Illidan alive. Everything that the red team does, it's all about Illidan. It's all about Illidan and him trying to deliver the damage then later on. Improved Ice Block has been taken, and there's now also a Shrink Ray for Tassadar, and that will help against Sonya or Zeratul. So Abathur at the bot lane, he's currently soaking experience, and at the same time all of the attention of the blue team is completely on the red team's melee assassin. Illidan is moving away here once more. Illidan needs to be careful, of course. He knows that he is the one that's going to be attacked. If he falls, then the red team has to retreat. Alex the Prodigy, he misses his stun. Here comes the plant though, Eternal, and in goes Illidan. They're starting to jump in, and already we have Brightwing with a party as well. Double already. They're going deep. Breeze, on the other hand, takes down Tyrael, and the kill against Tassadar as Breeze just whirlwinds in. They want to have Lowell, and they eliminate him. Great play here by the blue team, and of course, especially that plant helped quite a bit with that polymorph seed. I'm not quite sure it was the smartest idea for them here to take it, but they decided that it was worth going in anyways, and then they ended up falling here. Of course, getting polymorphed certainly didn't help the cause, and now Eternal can move in. They can't even think about going for the core here with that new addition, but I don't think that they can really make that happen. The death tellers seem lower, but they're gonna try. Well, actually with all that damage, they might be able to pull that off. Eternal can use the body, does it, and disables the core, and now they're gonna try and go for the kill here. It looks very much like this game is already over. Well played, GG. The blue team loses Sonya, but the red team loses the game. 11 minutes in, and 16-14 is the ending score. GG and well played. Another game, everybody, here at the European Pro League, a player in-house pickup league where the pro players of the top teams are able to get games against them, against other heroes, or sorry, against other players in the same level pretty fast. And we, of course, have the pleasure of casting these games, which are on a decent level, where they're experimenting with a new patch. And we can see that here already. To the left side, we have Breeze playing Rexxar. We have Eternal on Falstad, Shrimpy on Stitches, BKB on Uther, and Mena on Jaina. To the right side of the map, the blue team, or in this case, of course, the red team. Those colors are still switched. It's unfortunately a bug that has been around for a few months. Blizzard is going to get rid of that eventually. But for now we still have to deal with that. Zico on Tyrael, Alex the Prodigy on Muradin, Bakery on Malfurion, Siphon, Kalthas, and AD on Tyrande. So it's pretty interesting to see how many like pro teams are already represented in this match here. We have players from Na'Vi, Fnatic, Dignitas, Virtus Pro. It's actually pretty awesome. And the combos that they are playing are kind of fun. One of the last picks that we saw here was Stitches. The Stitches would have fit perfectly in the composition for both of the teams. Oh, nice hook already against Sypho, but this time Uther wasn't around. So Shrimpy gets a perfect hook off against Sypho. Of course, ideally the combo is that Uther is going to be very close to you, and then the hook lands, you get the stun from Uther, and then you can deliver the damage. For the red team, it would have been even better. The Stitches hook could have been met by not only the Roots of Malfurion, but also Tyrande with another stun, and even Kalthas with another attempt to go for his own stun there. But yeah, Gravity Lapse is something that he can throw into the match either way. So starting things off with maybe a stun from Muradin, then Tyrande moves in, and also Kalthas. That is really dangerous. Those CC chains are absolutely real, and if you get caught by one, then you are in trouble. Once again, here's the attack. Nice double stun. We have also Rexxar being played now by Breeze. So in this case, it's all about the bosses. You can really just like burst down these camps quite easily. Breeze has taken on level 7 the last time the range increase on his access on... and that's pretty interesting because it also combos pretty well with the talents that he took then later on, starting with level 13. But yeah, we have a couple of builds that you can really go through with Rexxar, but Breeze is one of the players that has been playing Rexxar for like an eternity. And of course, there's made a few changes in the last patch. Now you can finally control Misha a bit more individually. Nice stun, but the hook also hitting. Alex was trying to jump away, but BKB couldn't deliver that stun here. So yeah, the team's currently also aiming for this. Talking Stitches, by the way, he went on level 1 for the Hungry for More talent, which is basically just him boosting his hit point pool. It's an adaptation of the Regeneration Master. Works a bit different on him, and he is going to end up with a massive hit point pool of course. Which is, in theory, going to make especially things like Giant Killer extremely strong against him. We don't have a Giant Killer hero on the side of the red team, but it's still something that Stitches has to be careful about when he plays against Vada or Reyna or even a Falstad. Talking Falstad, Eternal is up here at the top with Flow Rider and Seasoned Marksman. It's a build that has been popularized by Blade, who played for Meteor Makers for a long time, and he was really strong with this, and therefore we have now players just all around Europe trying similar builds when they are looking for an auto attack damage hero that has mobility on the map. Nice lockdown already against Stitches, and they get 1 and 2, and they are trying to lock him down with another route, but Shrimpy is kept alive. Wow, and they get a counter kill against Tyrael. Extremely well played here. Oh, Eternal! Wow, he tries to go over the rocks, but nope, he flies straight into them. Gets locked down and taken out. So a 4 versus 4 now unfolding here at the bot lane. We have, after level 1 Conjurer's Pursuit, now Snowstorm taken as the level 4 talent for Jaina. Good damage against Shrimpy. He moves in with another Devour, trying to get a bit of a damage back, or hit points back, and he does. Gets blocked. And while they're losing Malfurion, the red team up here is at least able to get that kill against Stitches. Or are they? Wow! Okay. Last second move there. That was a bit too fast. They thought he was already down, but well guys, he wasn't dead just yet. So next time you should probably follow that up until he's really dead. But yeah, we have a level 4 now, Easy Prey taken as the talent for Rexxar, the Beastmaster. We have a Reverberation build with Thunderclap focus for Muradin again, and also Gravity Lapse now after the original Mana Addict for Kalthas, whereas Tyrande decided to go into Celestial Attunement. It's something that we've seen a bit more often. It's of course the question, do you really need it, yes or no? I mean, if you are planning on spamming your heals the entire time, it's a talent that you can definitely take. Going then later on into Overflowing Light at level 13 should be a bit of a no-brainer. But we're going to find out how exactly he's going to play it here, because we have seen adjustments on 13. Now on level 7, the Bird of Prey. And now with this, Breeze deviating a bit from the build that I was mentioning before, that he's been using on Rexxar and one of the games before. So this build will allow him to burst down all of the camps on the map, the mercenary camps, even faster, and that also goes for the boss itself. The blue team secured themselves the first tribute. They have a very cool setup that allows them to poke from the distance. of course, the more so once that Stitches hits level 16. He's a constant danger. You can just always throw down that hook, and if you throw it out, your opponent will always be afraid of being just like sucked in by one, and one good hook can change the outcome of a fight completely. Battle momentum on Tyrande, very interesting to see that here. That will of course also allow them to reduce the cooldown on the Oroch ability. And we could see Shadowstalk. Shadowstalk does now heal. It doesn't reveal the opponent anymore, but it cloaks you and heals you. Oh, nice move against Stitches. And Tyrande players have been starting to use that a bit. We have down to the top lane, Eternal still with the experience. On level 7 we also have Holy Fire, this time taken by Uther. Tenderizer is still the talent to go for when you're playing Stitches. But that double battle momentum is still going to be very interesting how that's going to unfold in the game itself. Having battle momentum on Tyrande is going to help her to get additional stuns out, additional heals out, and of course we already talked about the heroic ability a bit earlier. With the CCs that are being thrown around in this game now in particular, and also that hook, we have Cleanse in the game for Malfurion, not going for Enduring Growth here. And yes, you can actually cleanse out a hook, so if you see a hook coming and you are fast enough, you can cleanse that. And there's very little else that is as rewarding for a good support player as cleansing out a hook that is just moving in, because, as I said before, a good hook can end the game. It's absolutely incredible. If you hit that hook and you turn it into an early 4 versus 5 with some stun hero locking down the target, then of course you are in an absolutely amazing spot. And talking about turning it into an early 4 versus 5, there's the hook, there was the trap, but Uther is dead. That was actually perfect by Shrimpy. He stands here, he hooks AD already in here, so he can't escape, but it's a 4 versus 5 already, so there's nothing he can do. He's trying to run away, maybe a bit too late. Breeze is going for the boss, he claims it, but Stitches is down. So while all this was happening, we had Rexxar going for boss and just showcasing how much siege damage he can actually throw out in the minimum amount of time, which he did exactly here. We have now both of the teams with level 10s, and we see again Mighty Gust taken. It's the Bestial Wrath on Falstad, but Mighty Gust for the Bestial Wrath of course for Rexxar, for Misha, but the Mighty Gust for Falstad. And we've seen a lot more Mighty Gust just recently. Of course, the one thing that really comes to mind is that combo with Butcher Falstad that was played by Navi in Prague. Oh, Falstad with the Divine Shield gets saved. Running into something like the Lamb to the Slaughter and then just like pushing the opponent away with Mighty Gust is pretty dirty. Gorge used by Shrimpy, and they are just blowing them away. I'm loving it. You gorge and then you go for the Mighty Gust. Ah, Navi. I really love the comms that they are sometimes coming up with. This is just like dirty play what they are using here. Just like, think about it. You're like in a fight and you get a hooked and then gorge, and that's bad enough, but there are suddenly all of your allies are just getting pushed away. Another good hook here by Shrimpy, and Stitches is making their plays right now. Great hooks here by him. At the same time, the mid lane is pushing. Bakery is trying to push it back. We already have the Owl up to the top, so right now the red team knows what's happening at the boss. But just look how fast it's losing his hit points. The rotation is going to be a bit too late. BKB is claiming, or at least trying to claim, the tribute. He's too low. The Moonfire is already spanging him out and cancelling the channel, but the boss is now up at the top. Ring of Frost has been taken. Shadowstalk, as already theorized earlier, is the talent that we're seeing for Tyrande. Judgment for Tyrael, and here comes Shadowstalk cloaking and healing them, giving them a bit more sustain so that they can move in for a potential kill. The boss is still at the top, so the blue team is very interested in delaying this for as long as they can. Nice Divine Shield. Shrimpy still on the run, and the boss is doing his thing. The boss is going ham, the tribute is still there. Ziku is about to get the curse for his team against the blue team, and a nice move. I'm not even quite sure if that last second judgment was really needed, but better safe than sorry. 6.5 kills against 4. And that judgment was actually, I mean, at least secured the kill against Stitches, because one of the things that Stitches can currently do, we have with him now, of course, here the healing, the amplified healing. And if you think about Stitches as a hero who now, thanks to that level 1 talent, thanks to that hungry for more, has a pretty high hit point pool that can get pretty nasty. Especially in the later stages of the game, that can be super annoying. I mean, oftentimes we are seeing players with like, let's say 30 of these globes, and that's another 900 to 1000 health that he has. That's pretty difficult to take down. Level 13 right now for both of the teams. Already a bit of a fight happening in the mid lane, with now only imposing presence taken for Tyrael, jumping away with little Druin's Might here. But as already said earlier, that overflowing light coming, of course, nicely with the level 1 talent around. And whoa, again, Mighty Gust used, no Gorge this time. Was thinking about like an opportunity to maybe Gorge somebody and then push him away, but this time it didn't really plan out that way. So we have, of course, also a few escape mechanisms taken out. We have an ice block for Malfurion, that's going to be extremely important. He went for Tranquility, I mean, duh. Big surprise. Phoenix has been the weapon of choice for... What are they doing? They are trying to backdoor, yeah, apparently. They were trying to sneak in and see if they maybe can find a hero, maybe take down Breeze somewhere. That's not happening, so they move in from behind. There's no hero present, but they at least take the structure. And it looks like the blue team is saying, okay, if you take down our fort at the bot lane, we're at least going to put some pressure onto the wall in the middle. Both of the teams at level 14 now liking this game. This is cool. I love to see Rexxar, I love to see Stitches, and this is a fun one. So far it has been a very, very solid match. Of course, we have well, Burning Rage, or more so Wildfire Bear, taken on the side of Rexxar, which does a bit more damage actually than Burning Rage itself. The teams are still up at the top with a bit of a trap. Breeze already with Misha. Misha in play, trying to scare them away. That a bear. That a bear. And Misha is doing Misha things, zoning them out a bit. Zico actually went indeed. He used his smite. There comes the stun. Well played so far. But the red team is poking, and they're poking well. They have Kel'Thas, and they're using that level 13 Chain Bomb talent to put in a lot of work. There comes the Gorge, and immediately an attempt to take them down. But counter-aggression. They jump in with Judgment. The snipe against Kel'Thas. Oh my god. It's the money. This is really the money hook. Shrimpy couldn't have landed a better hook. That was the one target they needed to take down, and they did. Shadowstalk used to heal them up, but Zico is trying to get away there. Eternal is putting even more damage points on him, but now they have to just rotate back from this. BKB today on the support role, which is a little bit uncharacteristic for his play, but still, and so far, he's doing a pretty decent job. Has a few adjustments here with this build. We talked about the level 7 talent, the Burning Rage, which gives you that AoE damage that you would like to have. They can claim now the tribute, or at least they can try to. There's a bit of a setup that we see for the red team, but I don't think that they can really do too much with it as well. And as I say it, we have Rexxar, one of the squishier heroes, starting to move in there, and again the Mighty Gust from Eternal. That was an important one. That was a really important one, actually. And again the hook, this time against Malfurion. Ice block saves him. And immediately the two Na'Vi players trash talking. But the kill against Falstad, and now the kill against Nena. A double kill for the red team. BKB might be victim number 3. He's trying, but it's not working. Yep, he's taken out 2, and here comes Zico. Yeah, Alex wasn't really too happy here. His teammates hooking him, and that last second, I mean, like, they were doing kind of well. But yeah, that was kind of fun. So yeah, moving in for this. Again the hook. This time Shrimpy, of course, was trying to piss them off a bit, because let's face it, even if you hook somebody, there's not anything that he can do about that. But this is starting to get really tricky for them, because now the 16 talents are ready for the red team, and that allows them to take the bosses here. Originally, the idea with the setup that they are running here is, of course, that Rexxar is going to take care of most of the mercenary camps and is going to take these bosses. That didn't work for them. Again the kill. Wow, that burst. And Judgment! Judgment into the base, into 3 towers. He doesn't care. Zico has the mana, or does he? No, he doesn't. He actually pays with his life for this one, for the insolence to jump in this deep. Level 16 talent now for both of the teams. Holy Ground has been chosen, Stone Form, we have Hardened Focus. We're also currently seeing the Feigned Death talent, which is just a no-brainer for Rexxar. The problem is that Rexxar might actually have been... I actually think he's not going to make it here. He needs to move back, and move back fast. Fishing Hook has now been claimed. Benediction as well. The boss is leashed. Misha, on the other hand, is a little bit low. And the keep and the bot lane, of course, is down. So things are starting to look a bit grim for the blue team. It's not like they're out just yet or anything. At 6 kills against 11, this is definitely something where you can still come back. But it looks like Rexxar might die here. Or is he? For now, he's getting away. No, and there's the stun. The double stun is too strong, and there's nobody to really save him. Shrimpy was waiting for an opportunity to maybe like get another hook in there. But yeah, Helping Hand would have been pretty cool in this case. I doubt that it would have been the best time. No way! He's gonna try and blow them away. Mighty Gust could be a thing. Or Eternal just like overshoot a bit here. that is something where they have to be careful. Okay, they're trying to create some space here, and they really need to. But it's a 5 versus 4. Nice into the root, blast them into the root here. Eternal gets judgmented, trying to move away here. Again, they're jumping on the bird, and where's Keltas? They're trying to go in, and the Divine Shield. He could have the cooldown ready in a second. Phoenix is zoning. I can't believe they kept him alive. They really kept Kelthas alive. Sorry, not Kelthas. They kept Force alive. Kelthas is in the back line, but Tyrande is being bursted apart. These hooks that we're seeing from Shrimpy right now, what have they been feeding him? Whatever it is, I want some. This is really good, awesome. Like, his hooks have been spot on. Alex gets taken out as well. In comes Eternal. He misses a bit, but they take Tyrael on and they take him down. 9 kills against 12.5. Really great game that we're seeing now. And of course they're going for boss. What else would they do? They move straight in with this. And yeah, this is really, really nice what we're seeing right now. Again, the hooks, and I mean, this is exactly what you need to do. At this point, Shrimp is just throwing the hook whenever it's ready. BKB, by the way, like, oh boy, that was a bit close for comfort, buddy. He nearly died there. Everybody moving away, out of mana, out of hit points. So right now we have Mena and Eternal. They are already moving in to like take these waves. Because the one thing that they couldn't do is they got cursed again. They couldn't take the tribute. They were busy with the boss, and that's actually like a pretty nice play on the side of the red team that they are just simply saying, alright, look boys, we can take the tribute. They're busy at the boss. Let's claim that. It's going to buy us some time, and then that's going to be the important part. We can take care of the boss in the meantime, make sure that we're not going to fall too far behind. And if you look at the experience, it's 19 versus 18, nearly 19, so it's very much the same that we're seeing for them. Breeze has been pushing the bot lane as much as he could during all of that. He of course has that Beastial Wrath that he can use whenever he really wants to. And especially with that Hawk, he has siege damage that is out of this world. Look at his siege damage here, for example. He is currently looking at 55. It's even a little bit less than I thought here. I thought he would be at more, but he can really burst these waves away. For now, he apparently didn't really do that. Uther down, but they might be able to get another kill here. Oh, the Mighty Gust, but Zico goes deep. But there is, unfortunately for him, well, nobody to really follow that up. So now they have to still retreat, and Tyrael was very low. Misha is most likely going to pay the price as well. Wow. She was such an innocent bear, and they just murdered her. But yeah, mid lane experience is going to be important. It looks like the blue team is going to get the level 20 faster. Yeah, it looks like they're going to pull that off. We have now, like, for the last, I want to say 10 minutes. It hasn't been 10 minutes, but at least for the last 5 or 6, we've seen the keep at the bot lane destroyed. So that's of course one lane that is pushing against the blue team constantly. And right now we have the 20 talents about to be reached, and the Storm talent here could change things extremely once again. So we have, in terms of talents, well, first of all, we are of course going to see the auto attack damage build on the side of Faucet completed. And once that you have the Nexus Frenzy talent, you are in an insane spot. The damage that you put out is crazy good. We are seeing hardened skin taken. There's also escape mechanisms now for Stitches and Jaina. And that means that Stitches can blink in and Gorge, or he can hook Gorge blink, which also works. Like, he can either use it as an escape, or he can just use it as a tool to put somebody in a really bad spot. A bit of a trap is set, but already spotting this just slightly. We have Rewind, User Merit, and again these hooks by Shrimpy, followed up by a slam right away. Double blink now also with Malfurion and Kelthas relying on the escapes. And here comes the Hunter Swiftness on level 20. So that's even the movement speed that you have. You get healed, you get movement speed. Breeze is losing Misha here. Misha is dead now once again. Shrimpy still there. Yeah. So Divine Shield has been used, but Alex is still saying, like, dude, you belong to me. Yeah, that stun didn't work, but BKB might fall regardless. Redemption is still on though, so he can use that. But yeah, Shrimpy had to use the Bolt of the Storm, so he doesn't have that escape mechanism ready anymore. And nice move going in again with a good judgment, but this time Uther dead for real. And Breeze is also trying to escape, eating that Flame Strike though. It's still 16 kills against 9. The hook again, but this time against Muradin. Alex the Pro G jumps away. Breeze is about to lose his bear again. The hate for Misha is definitely a thing in this game, bursting her down as much as they could. Keep this camp in mind, by the way. It's still pressuring the top lane, and eventually this keep is going to fall. We have Breeze starting to take the mid lane, and of course that Hawk is helping a lot. With that level 7 talent, all that extra damage is just crucial. Once more, you have here another opportunity for maybe a hook. The camp up at the top lane is still doing its thing. The boss might end up in the hands of the red team, but they are going to lose this one eventually. Here comes again Misha at the front. Phoenix for the zoning already. They want it. They really want it. Hold your ground has been used. Not hold your ground, holy ground actually, to zone them out. Misha is dead again. Somebody really likes bearskin, I want to say. Like, that fur apparently seems to be something that is valued quite highly. Maybe the girlfriend of Bakery really wants stuff like that. But for whatever reason, they do a great... Well, not for whatever reason. I mean, it's smart. Like jokes aside, it's a smart move. Like, bursting Misha down really helps you. You have your peace and quiet for a couple of seconds. The boss is there, and apparently they're going to try and end the game with this. Or are they? It's a 5 versus 5, but yeah, they are moving in. They want to end it right now. There's already the gust of healing, the mighty gust of Eternal being used, but still, this is a tricky spot right now. And it looks like they're trying to go for 80, and they get him, but 50% on the core. I mean, this is looking bad. Only Tyrande dead. Bakery might die now too, but this core is going to be eliminated. Great game here. Nice back and forth action at the European Pro League, and we have the red team claiming victory here on Khaldor.
Pretty solid games here. I really hope that you enjoyed the series that we had here today. It was pretty fun, especially Stitches. Seeing him back in the meta just is absolutely amazing. I love it. These hooks flying left and right the entire time, it's crazy good, and I can't wait to see that in tournament matches. It's going to be a blast. In general, it's kind of nice to see a lot of these heroes coming back into the meta now with the recent patch. One of the things that we are seeing a lot is, for example, right now, Tyrande. Even Tassadar is being played quite a lot, but I think Tyrande is one of those heroes that a lot of teams will heavily rely upon in the new patch. She was also picked in the last patch, of course, quite a bit, but right now her role is changing, especially with the changes to Shadowstalk, and we're going to see her a lot more. I hope that you enjoyed today's commentary and, of course, also the games. If you did, subscribe to the channel, hit that sub button, and also make sure, of course, that you give the video an upvote on YouTube. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section. I hope that you guys have a great weekend. Thank you very much for tuning in today, and see you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.